Good day, Junior Tickies. I'm Mrs. Brimacombe. We're going to look now at Chapter 3, Activity 3, Cash Journals of a Service Business. You are provided with the information from Drive Smart Academy for February 2024. The business is owned by Letabo. So Drive Smart Academy offers driving lessons and charges the following. So this is important to take note of. Learner's license training, R250 per hour, excluding vehicle. Learner's license training, $350 per hour, including vehicle. Package 1, $1,280, which includes 4 hours, including vehicle. Package 2, $2,400, which includes 8 hours, including a vehicle. So again, there's a reason why they provide this information to you. Required: record the transactions in the correct subsidiary books for February 2024. That means you need to record it in the correct journal. Because we are busy with cash journals of a service business, this will only be option 1, a cash receipts journal, or option 2, a cash payment journal. Indicate the influence that each of the following transactions will have on the accounting equation. So we're not going to do all of them. We're only going to do transaction 1, 2, 8, and 15. So when we look now at the transactions, there's different ways in which you can approach it. I'm going to start off with the first step is sorting out what goes into which journal. Now there are key words for you to immediately identify. Does this go into a cash receipts journal or does it go into a cash payment journal? The first transaction says Letabo started her own driving school business, Drive Smart Academy, by investing $250,000 into her business as her capital contribution. So if I look at that part, it means that the business received money, and as soon as the business receives money, it goes into the cash receipts journal. The second part of this, on the same day, there's another transaction, paid the Tshwane City Council, paid immediately. EFT tells you that this goes into your CPJ. So there are 2 transactions on the same day. One of them will go to the cash receipts journal and the second one to the CPJ, the cash payment journal. On day 2, purchase a Toyota Vitz from Toyota Menlyn for $169,900 and did a direct transfer from the business current account. A payment was made to pay for the Toyota Vitz that we've purchased. This means it goes into the CPJ. On the same day, paid the Gauteng License Office $250 for the license disc and additional R22 registration fee. This was made online. Again, another payment was made, and as soon as a payment is made, it goes into your CPJ. So the keywords there are received and issued receipt. Number 1, you should know a receipt will always go into the cash receipts journal. Day 8, drew cash at the ATM to purchase fuel. That means CPJ. On day 10, received cash from a learner, CRJ. Day 13, purchased the following and paid by EFT. It means all of that will go to your CPJ. Day 15, money received from driver's lessons. That means CRJ. Day 20, drew $2,000 from the ATM. That means CPJ. Money was taken from the business bank account. Day 26. The Standard Bank current account of Letabo's Drive Smart Academy earned interest. It means that the business received money with earned interest, 90 CRJ. But then the bank statement also showed monthly bank charges, a debit order. That means CPJ. On the same day, cash received for services rendered as per cash register roll, CRJ. Day 27, pay Telkom $2,532 by EFT, CPJ. Drew cash at the ATM, that means CPJ. Day 29. The owner decided to increase her capital contribution by 25%. She deposited the money into the current bank account of the business. When the owner decided to increase her capital, it means that the business received money. It was deposited into the current bank account. That's why this will go into the cash receipts journal. On the same day, made an EFT payment to Al Viljoen to pay the monthly earnings. The payment was made, CPJ. Letabo decided to earn an additional income by renting out an office space for $3,500 per month to Cooper. Cooper decided to pay the rent for the next 3 months. Issued receipt. When a receipt is issued, it means the business received money. That goes into the cash receipts journal. On the same day, so there's many things that happened on day 29. Cash received for services rendered for the week ended as per cash register roll. The business received money. Cash register roll means it goes into the cash receipts journal. So we're going to now look at all the transactions that goes into the cash receipts journal, and then we will move on to the CPJ. A reminder, you can do it at the same time while going through the list of transactions, or you can follow what I'm doing now, is by first sorting out all the transactions and then going and completing the CRJ and then moving on to the CPJ. So the first transaction that goes into the CRJ, Letabo started her own driving school business, Drive Smart Academy, by investing $250,000 in her business as her capital contribution. The money was transferred from a personal investment account directly in the business current account. So on day 1, the source document is bank statement. From who did we receive the money? From Letabo. The name of the owner must be written down. How much did we receive? $250,000. For what reason? This was for capital. So please look at the questions that I'm asking while I'm completing the CRJ. Day 5. Received a cash payment from a learner who paid for package 1. So if we look at what is package 1, it says 1,280, which includes 4 hours, including a vehicle. So you need to find out, but what was the amount that we're going to receive? We start with the source document, cash register roll. On day 5, from who did we receive the money? We don't know the name of the person, and that's why we're going to write services rendered. How much did we receive? 1,280. It was the only transaction on that day, so you draw a line. How much did you deposit into your bank account? 1,280. For what reason did we receive the money? Because of fee income. On day 10, received cash from a learner who paid for 3 lessons, excluding a vehicle. So the business received money for services rendered. That's why my source document is cash register roll. On day 10, how much did we receive for services rendered? So now we need to go and look at, they said specifically 3 lessons excluding a vehicle. So there we've got 250 learners license training excluding vehicle. That means I'm going to say 250 times 3. So the total, 750. It was the only transaction on that day. So we draw a line. And how much do we deposit in our bank account? 750. For what reason? For fee income. On day 15, money received from driver's lessons as per cash register roll, 17,600. Source document, cash register roll. On day 15, for what reason? For services rendered. How much did we receive? 17,600. We draw a line. How much do we deposit into our bank account? 17,600. Why? Because of fee income. Day 26. The Standard Bank current account of Letabo's Drive Smart Academy earned 90 Rand interest. Our source document will be bank statement on day 26. From who? Standard Bank. How much? 90 Rand. For what reason? Interest on current account. On the same day, cash received for services rendered as per cash register roll. So, source document, cash register roll. We don't need to write the date again. From who? Services rendered. How much? 16,320 goes under analysis of receipts. We draw a line to show how much money we've deposited into our bank account. For what reason? Fee income, 16,320. Day 29. The owner decided to increase her capital contribution by 25%. She deposited the money into the current bank account of the business. So when we go back now to day 1, it says there, Letabo, the owner, deposited 250,000 into her bank account. Now day 29 says she increased her capital contribution by 25%. So this means you need to go back to day 1 so that you can find out but what was her capital contribution, and then we can calculate by how much she increased it. So we start with day 29. My source document is bank statement. From who did we receive the money? We've received it from Letabo, 250,000 times 25%. So she increased her capital contribution by 62,500. We have to show it under sundry accounts, 62,500 as capital. Please remember, if there's no money column open for an account name, which you've identified, in this case capital, it goes under sundry accounts. On the same day, Letabo decided to earn an additional income by renting out an office space for 3,500 per month to C. Cooper. Cooper decided to pay the rent for the next 3 months. So there's a calculation involved here. Issued receipt number 2. Source document, duplicate receipt. The customer always gets the original, the business keeps the duplicate. We don't need to write the date again, but we do need to calculate now if the rent is 3,500 per month and she paid for the next 3 months, it means that we have to times that by 3. From who did we receive the money? From C. Cooper. How much did we receive? 10,500. And then why did we receive it? Because of rent income. You have to be specific. Take note, I didn't write anything under bank. Why? Because on the same day, cash received for services rendered for the week ended as cash register roll. So now we need to calculate this again. It says 12 hours excluding a vehicle. And then we've got 9 hours including. If we look at the information that was given, if you look at 12 hours excluding vehicle, 12 hours excluding vehicle means 250 per hour. And then 9 hours including vehicle is 350. So my calculation, we're going to get to that part now. We first start with the source document, cash register roll. The first part of the calculation is 12 hours times 250, and the second part, 9 hours times 350. This was for services rendered. In total, we've received 6,150 because of services rendered. That is shown as fee income. Now we are done with day 29. We can now draw a line to show how much that we deposit into our bank account. Next, we've got the CPJ. So now, remember, we sorted out all the transactions. So now we're going to complete the CPJ. Day 1. Paid the Tshwane City Council 4,210 for the annual trading license. We start off by document number, EFT number 1 On what day did the transaction took place? Day 1. Who did we pay? Tshwane City Council. How much did we pay? 4,210. For what reason? For the trading license. It goes under sundry accounts because we don't have a money column open for trading license. Day 2. Purchased a Toyota Vitz from Toyota Mainland for 169,900 and did a direct transfer from the business current account. Source document, bank statement. Day 2. Who did we pay? Toyota Mainland. How much did we pay? 169,900. For what reason? Vehicles. You're not going to write the name of the vehicle. In accounting, we've got something called a fixed asset register, which will list all our specific assets that we've got. Here, we're just going to say, what did we purchase? We purchased a vehicle. On the same day, paid the road traffic 250 for the license disc and additional 22 Rand for registration fee. The payment was made online, which means bank statement. The total amount paid to road traffic, 272. For what? This will be vehicle license. You cannot add that 272 to the vehicle, the cost of the vehicle. That vehicle license is a monthly or an expense to the business. It's renewed every single year. Day 8. Drew cash at the ATM to purchase fuel at the engine for the business Toyota Vitz, 770. Source document, ATM. Day 8. Details, cash, because I drew cash from the ATM. How much? 770, and this was for fuel, and we do have a money column open for that. Day 13. Purchased the following from Roos Wholesalers and paid by EFT. So here we've got one payment made to Roos Wholesalers for different things. So we start with EFT number 2 on day 13. Now, who did we pay? Roos Wholesalers. And now I'm going to start with the study material, 2,700, and the pens and pencils, that will form part of my stationery. So the total, 3,615. Now, that laptop and printer, 16,400 before the discount of 10%. This means we've purchased equipment now. Laptop and printer forms part of my equipment. But the business received a 10% discount. So how much did we pay after the discount? This is so important to understand. We never ever show when the business receives trade discount. It means that we paid less on those items purchased. So we need to find out how much did we pay for it after the 10% discount. So you can calculate it by calculating first 10% of 16,400, and then you're going to subtract that from 16,400, or you can say the original amount is equal to 100%. Minus 10% discount, it means that we're only going to pay 90% of that total, which is then 14,760. What was that for? For equipment. Now, in total, how much did I pay Roos Wholesalers? Now we have to add those two together. If I add those two together, it equals an amount of 18,375. Day 20. Drew 2,000 from the ATM. 800 was for fuel and the remainder was for money in the cash register. So we start with source document ATM. On which day? On day 20. Because we drew money from the ATM, my details is going to be cash. How much did I drew in total? 2,000 For what reason? This was 800 for fuel, and the difference is 1,200, which was for the cash float. I'm not going to write equipment or cash register. Money was taken from my bank account to put money into my cash register, which is my cash float. Please make sure that you understand that. Day 26. The bank statement also recorded monthly charges of 180 and a debit order in favor of Best Insurer for the monthly insurance 4,000. Reminder, the bank statement was received from Standard Bank. So they've also charged us on day 26. They've charged us for monthly charges. That is called bank charges. Then the bank statement also reflected a payment was made to Best Insurer. You cannot write Standard Bank. The payment was made to pay 4,000 for our monthly insurance. Day 27. There's a number of transactions that happened on day 27. So we start with the first one. Pay Telkom 2,532 by EFT. On day 27, who did we pay? Telkom. How much did we pay? 2,532. For what reason? 1,890 was for the business telephone account, and that's why we say telephone. The difference, the remainder, was for the personal account. That goes to drawings. Anything that the owner takes for personal use must be shown as drawings. On the same day, drew cash at the ATM to purchase fuel at the BB Garage for the business 815. So this means that our document number, ATM, remember we can use that as a reference. On which day? Day 27. I don't need to write it again. My details, cash, how much did we drew? 815. And we have a money column open for fuel, 815. Day 29. Made an EFT payment to Alphalune to pay his monthly earnings, 12,500. Our source document, EFT. On day 29, who did we pay? Alphalune. How much did we pay? 12,500. His monthly earnings will be shown as salary. We don't write monthly earnings. This is indicated as salary. After we've done with all the transactions, we can now finish off by closing off the cash payment journal by adding all the totals. If I take fuel plus stationery plus sundry accounts, it should equal the bank. If it doesn't equal your bank, if you've add all of that up together, it means somewhere you've made a mistake. Then you need to go back and check. The next part of this question is completing the accounting equation. So now we're going to look at how to approach a combined activity completing the accounting equation. So on day 1, there were 2 different transactions that took place. The first one, the business received money. If the business received money, it means that bank will always be debited. Why did the business receive money? Because the owner contributed capital. So account credit capital. Assets plus 250,000. Owner's equity plus 250,000. And nothing happened with your liabilities. But on the same day, paid the Tshwane City Council 4,210 for the annual trading license by EFT. This means from the CPJ, bank is always credited. The rest is debited. What did we pay for? Trading license, and the total 4,210. Assets minus, because bank is credited, our expense that increase will have a negative effect on the owner's equity, and nothing happened with your liabilities. Day 2, Purchase a Toyota Vitz from Toyota Mainland, 169,900, and the direct transfer from the business current account. So here we need to show the payment that was made. When a payment is made, bank is always going to be credited. Account debited, vehicles. Both is categorized or classified as an asset. This means that our assets is going to be plus minus 169,900. Nothing happened with owner's equity or liabilities. Then we paid the Gauteng License Office $250 for the license disc and additional charges of R22 for registration fees. Again, when a payment is made from the CPJ, and when a payment is made, bank will always be credited. Account debited, vehicle license, and now bank is a current asset, which means that our assets is going to decrease because our vehicle license is an expense that increases. It will have a negative effect on the owner's equity, and nothing happened with your liabilities. On day 8, drew cash at the ATM to purchase fuel. A payment was made, therefore bank will always be credited. Why? Because of the purchase of fuel. So account debited, fuel. Fuel is regarded as an expense. That's why your assets is minus 770 and owner's equity minus 770. Liabilities, nothing. Day 15. Money received from driver's lessons as per cash register roll 17,600. If the business receives money, bank is always debited. Why? Because of fee income, which is credited. Bank is a current asset which will increase. That's why assets plus 17,600. And my owner's equity, because my income increases, it will have a positive effect on the owner's equity. Liabilities, nothing. Thank you very much. I want to leave you with this quote. Teachers open the doors, but you must enter yourself. Have a wonderful day.